The following presentation is brought to you by kmmedia.pro. Please visit kmmedia.pro for more information. Now stay right where you are as we present. Welcome to Positive Talk Radio, evolving ideas, one conversation at a time. Great guests, dynamic stories and interviews, plus new thoughts on a wide range of topics and concepts. I hope that you'll hang with me, Kevin McDonald, my friends, and of course, you. As together we work to understand why we are all here and what we can do to make our world a better place for all of us. To be happy, be kind, and live in peace together. Yep, that's Positive Talk Radio. So to Positive Talk Radio, we've got a great guest for you today, and I'm looking forward to the entire interview because she is actually a neighbor of mine. Well, kind of, sort of. She lives almost in the by the Canadian border, which is about, what is it, about 180 miles north of me?
Probably something like that.
Yes, her name is Helena, and she has a business, and she's also a podcaster, and she's also she works with people individually, and she is a health trainer, and we're going to get into all of that. Her last name is Smolock, by the way, and she is. So first of all, I'm intrigued and curious. How long have you been doing the podcast now?
I started, actually, I called it Velocity Athletic Training Radio to reflect my company, Velocity Athletic Training.
Sure.
I started on Blog Talk Radio actually in 2014.
You've been doing this a while.
Yes, yes. And I actually had a co-host as well, Gino Arcaro, who was a former police officer out east in Canada. And we had a lot of fun. But then he decided, you know what, he wanted to break free, have his own gig. And I said, good luck with it. I'm so happy. But I just continued on. You know, I reached out to various people that are in the same industry or not. We sort of focus the show on the whole avenues of health and wellness, not just athletic training. It's fitness, athletic training, nutrition, meditation, wellness, health, all those aspects that tie into what I have been doing for 39 years.
Well, you know what I like, what your website. By the way, if you want to go to her website, you can, and it's called velocityathletictraining.com. And you can find out all the information you want about her and how to work with her. But what I particularly like is on your front page, it says, are you ready to step into a new mindset, a new mental shift? Describe what it is that you're talking about there.
Well, you know, Kevin, back in the day in high school, you know, I ran track. And one of the things, and I think it's very powerful that today's youth learn this, is developing a focused mindset. So if I was going to run 100 meters, right, I needed that motivation, not just my body, but mentally, right? And it's for anything that we do in our life, whatever we want to accomplish. It all starts with that, with planting the seed in our mind and working towards the goal that we are focused on. So your mindset develops when you focus in, when you zero in. I love to use visualizations. I went for my bike ride this morning. I thought I better, you know, do my speed training early so that throughout the day it's going to get too hot. As you know, it's probably very hot where you are too.
Yeah, it's about
But
83 so far today.
yeah, so I was like, I better get out there, and I focused. You know, I'm 58 now. I'm not 16. So the focus is even greater to get this body in motion and focus on that speed. How fast am I going to move this bike with these legs? Right? This is my thought process when I'm in my zone of working out, whether it's in the gym, whether it's in on my bike, or even when I'm running. I focus, and this is what I recommend, and this is what I've worked with for 39 years with my clients, is that um, I had a gorgeous studio in Langley, and it was one client at a time. It wasn't, I didn't have a huge facility. I had a little boutique style studio in my home, and I focused on one client at a time. So when you get that attention, when you get that coach saying to you, listen, you can do this. I want you to focus on where you want to go with this and how you're going to accomplish it. We can all do it.
Well, I
And
know you've been doing. Oh, go ahead.
I think it's much greater now, more so than ever.
Well,
More so.
and 39 years ago, that was let's see, 39, yeah, let's see, that's in the 90s or late 80s. And
Yep.
there was it's different, a little bit different now. And I'll give you an example. Used to be that a professional golfer would just line up and he'd hit his ball. And when Jack Nicklaus was playing and Arnold Palmer and those guys,
Yeah.
now they visualize. A lot of them use a visualization technique that they picture where the ball is going to go. They picture doing a perfect swing, and they do all of that before they address the ball. And that's kind of a new phenomenon in fitness training, and also training your mind to accomplish what your body wants to accomplish. Have you found that has changed over the last 39 years?
I think it's always been there. I think over the years, because you have sports psychologists that work with athletes as well. So I think over the years, how it's used has changed, absolutely. But it's always been there. I think there's so many other modalities that are intertwined with that new way of focusing, like meditation, quiet the mind, clear the chattering in your mind. It's more so now. Now, when you just asked this question, it made me think of back in the day when I started teaching aerobic classes. I was about 16, 17 years old when I started teaching 15 classes a week. Now, that time, we focused so much on moving our bodies. We did high and low impact classes. I taught aqua fitness. So the concept of movement was much greater. The more the mind, the mindset came during training in athleticism. It wasn't really put into that, training or teaching my classes. We just moved. But now, yes, it's switched. Our lifestyle has changed. So the switch is, it's more mental now. You're hearing about this everywhere: mental illness, mental stress, because of the change in our way of doing things now. So there's a lot of confusion, and uh, so now that focus is switching that mindset, and every day we got to practice that. We do not fall prey to the negativity. It's much greater now, more so than ever. I truly believe that.
All
So
right.
we want to turn off that switch and say, hey, come on, let's do this. You know, my journey, I moved into the US in 2019, packed up my studio, brought my dog, brought my whole life into the United States to be with my amazing husband. And I came with no clientele, right? Basically starting from scratch. And then COVID hit. And I thought, oh my goodness, I can't even find a job because everything was shut down. So I
Right.
had to motivate myself. I thought, what am I going to do? Start Velocity here in the US. It's registered. So I've been, just working along, building the brand and getting people on my show, sharing their stories, helping others understand, you know what? Don't give up. Move your body, go for a walk, do something. The brain needs movement, right?
I agree with that. I wholeheartedly
Yeah,
agree with that. And there used to be well, back in the day, like you were saying, meditation was kind of an Eastern philosophy, and it
right.
was kind of a in the West it was considered not taboo, but not really a cool thing to do. Now with yoga studios and with Pilates and with meditations, it's everywhere, and then I
Mhm.
think that's really helpful for us because you're right, we're going through a very difficult period in human history, I think.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And being in this industry for 39 years, I have seen the changes uh through the years, like I said, I would have a class of 50 women between the ages of 18 and past 45. And these, I mean, they were serious. When I stood on my little stage back then, we had a little stage and we had our little mic, and
Sure.
we didn't have tapes, we had the albums. And so you put on your music and I would turn around and these women are just, looking at me very seriously. Come on, let's get moving here. So from that to this, right? It's like night and day. And the motivation needs to come from all of us to support each other. Someone said to me the other day, "Well, are you charging for your shows? Are you this? Are you doing this?" And I stopped the individual. I said, "Listen, it's not a time to worry about all that. It's a time to help each other, promote each other, because this is what's needed. All that financial stuff will come whenever the universe says, here you go." Right? This is the way I think. It's part of helping our fellow human because everybody needs this right now, right?
Well,
So that's the
and
way
I think we always have, but it's become really, really more important now because there's a lot more division. There's a lot more division, hate, and fear in our world, at least in the United States. And Canada seems to be a little bit more enlightened than we are down here, because they seem to be working together better. But we really need to form a sense of community. And I like
right.
what you're talking about because it really is important that you have a group of people, like-minded people, that you can
Yes.
associate with and that you can talk about things that are going on in your life and back and forth and help other people feel a little bit better about themselves, their situation, and what's going on with them. And that really is important. So you're doing really good work. And
Oh, thank
between the
you.
podcast and with your training studio and doing everything that you're doing. Now, you are a little you're not as old as I am by any stretch, but do you still find that you get excited about doing your workouts and doing the things that you do?
Absolutely. It I mean, I took a downfall after my dad passed away, because I was always fit. And then all of a sudden, life and death, there's life, right? And that's the cycle that's out there. And so when he passed, it just took me into this grieving process. And actually, today I thought maybe it wasn't grieving, it was a reflection of how and what he taught me as I was growing up. And so it was reflecting on that. And so that period, I gained a lot of weight. And it shocked a lot of people because, You're always fit. You're an example to everybody. And hey, we're human. Trainers are human. We're allowed to feel. So I took a downturn a bit for about a few years, and yeah, to answer your question, it's like I've reawakened. I've had time to go through that tunnel, that journey of accepting, you know, that my father's passed away. And hey, would he want me to be eating potato chips? No. Would he? He was my mentor. He was like, I'd run from west end of Ottawa downtown on one bike path. And when I got downtown, I'd call him, Dad, can you please come pick me up? I don't want to run back home. So I was excited then, and my excitement is even more so now that I'm, out of that tunnel. If if
How long ago did
that
he
makes
pass
sense.
away? And by the way, I'm sorry for your loss. How long ago did he pass away?
2016. So
Ah,
um
so that would be
it
8
it
years
took,
ago now. No, 6 years ago now.
yeah, so it took that long for me to like gauge myself, allow myself. And this is what I teach clients. I teach my clients, if there is something that is hindered your outlook towards working out or towards eating healthy, deal with the issue, deal with it, let it go through your system. Cry over it, scream over it if you have to, or let it come out in your workout. Um, because if we hold on to things, right, it stays in our subconscious, it stays in our cells, it affects us on every level. And when you go through that experience, you're going to come out strong. And this is what I feel. I've come out stronger, even more determined. You know, people will say, well, you're 58, as you get older, you're slowing down. Not me. No. Uh-uh.
Well, you gotta keep active, and you gotta keep moving, and you gotta keep your mind engaged when and no matter what stage of life
Exactly.
that you're in. But
Exactly.
the natural inclination, I read a study the other day that, senior people watch an average of 48 hours of TV a week
Yeah,
because they've got nothing else to do. And that is not a great
I
way
know.
for you to grow and to live and to keep moving. I don't watch much
No.
TV at all 'cause I'm too dang busy. I got other stuff to do.
Well, I end my day with watching a movie. Why? Because my mind, I'm my astrological sign is a Gemini. We run on the intellect. So to stop I've got to do this, I've got to get this done and that, I got to just turn off and just, okay, movie time. And that's what I do. An hour of a movie, why not? It quiets my mind a bit. It releases the day from me, and that's it. I get into that creative mode of watching a good flick. Why not? Am I doing that all day long? No, right? So
No,
people need to understand they do need to find an outlet. Now, not to sit there and watch 48 hours of television in one day, but something that's going to take them away and release what's going on in their mind, right?
it's also a matter
Whatever,
of yeah, it's a matter of passion too.
absolutely. Where is the mind focused on? Are we focused on, prime example, or am I going to get sick? Am I going to get COVID? We, for myself, this is what I do. No, I'm going to stay healthy and strong. I'm going to do whatever it takes to keep my immune system strong. So, what are my remedies? Well, I take my Care every morning. I strengthen the immune system. I have my shake every morning. These are things, little steps we can do for ourselves to feel better,
So
right?
if somebody's not feeling good and they just don't feel like they can get out of the cycle, can they call you and talk to you about it?
Absolutely.
And if somebody wanted to do that, is it best to go through your website?
You can visit the site at www.velocityathletictraining.com. And there is on the site, you can put your email address in there and reach out to me. And yeah, we can connect. Um, I like to consult with people if they're interested in any of my services. It's about an hour, sometimes an hour and a half. We go into detail about what your goals are, where you're headed with them, and what you have done in the past with your lifestyle.
Exactly. So if somebody, what are some of the services that you offer people that, I know you in this day and age you have to work remotely, so I'm sure that you do. So somebody from anywhere in the world can contact you. And
I do not offer online personal training.
ah,
I do offer the nutritional consulting online. Personal training is very, very. I'm I'm very detail oriented when it comes to training a client. I need to be present. They have to be in my space. I need to show them how to, do the movement properly. So that's why I do not offer
ah,
online personal training. I find that that's very impersonal, as well as safety concerns with that. With nutritional consulting, it's basically, visual on WebEx. We can talk about what the goals are. A questionnaire must be completed. And then at present, I'm going through some training with offering genomics on the site. So that's basically finding out your genetic footprint, your imprint, and then working with that to fine tune the supplementation as well as your nutrition.
I haven't
Um,
heard of that before. Is that kind of a new discipline?
it's growing. It's I've aligned with Pure Encapsulations, Douglas Labs, as well as Clean Athlete. It is these three companies are very, very well known in that realm of supplementation, and so part of that process, they do offer this platform where um, you go get your DNA checked, so that ancestry.com or DNA, you get that done. And then from there, with your results, we can look at, for example, I'm the mesomorph, I'm the power athlete. So my body will love anything carbs. So that's my fuel, along with some protein. But you got to find balance. So we fine tune all that for my client.
Oh,
And now is the time to do this because what is what are we experiencing? Food shortages, cost of food rising, right? So supplementation in balance with your nutritional requirements through food, you got to start implementing that. You got to find balance with that. What works for me won't work for someone else. So that's what we go through with the client, uh, with the consultation on nutrition.
now, do you find that people are resistant to it, or are they open to supplementation? And there are a lot of different supplements out there, and some are better than others as far as their absorption rate.
Right.
And I'm sure that you're into that number, whatever it is, of
Mhm.
absorption rate, because
Mhm.
you don't want to just have it pass through your body. You want
Right.
it to be part of your nutritional aspect, right?
Exactly. Now, when someone is not absorbing properly, it's usually because of the digestive system. So we look at that, we try to correct that. And as we age, yes, these little things start to happen. And there is always a solution to correct it. Uh, I don't go outside of something that requires medical attention. So if you require medical attention, that's your first step is
Hmm.
to go to your doctor, get clearance, whether it's for personal training, nutritional consulting. You need to fine tune through them that you don't have high blood pressure, you're not diabetic, you don't have hormonal issues going on. So we look at all that. That's all integrated, and that is through my questioning with the client. So the the resistance with supplementation, what I notice is that the fear factor of getting sick is much higher than people wanting to take care of themselves.
Yeah,
And
well,
I'm being honest.
it's a shame that we have to operate from fear rather than from
Yes,
the positive aspects of it. And you should want to take care of yourself, for your friends, for your family, so
yes,
that you can get to stick around a little bit longer. Because I don't know about you, but the older I get, the more I start doing the math, and it's like I'm about ready to turn 65, and I did the math, and it's like, let's see. When I was 30, I'm closer to the end than I am to the beginning by a huge margin because I'm not going to live to be 130. So I'm well over halfway there. And so you've got to start taking better care of yourself.
it's all about your mindset. It goes back to that, right?
That's exactly right.
As we get older, yes, we think about, oh, when I was that age, I did this, and oh, I did this and that, and okay, that's that. Time has passed by. Move forward. You know, enjoy life right now, this moment. As you and I are speaking, I'm enjoying this.
Oh, I can't
This
imagine why. Uh, I'm,
right.
I'm kidding.
But this is the example. We need to really look at living in the moment. It's the moment that you're in. You should be enjoying it no matter what is going on. You know, you gotta, like, I know I shouldn't be reflecting back on my dad, but it's like it's done. And now I feel like I'm back, I'm stronger, and I'm more focused.
And,
I'm
but
not thinking about, oh, I'm 58. Oh no, okay, where's the towel? Throw it in. Really? No, there's so much to life.
well,
The most simplest things. Go outside, enjoy nature, be grateful for what we do have. Every day I'm grateful that there's a roof over our head and uh, we're able to eat. Not everybody's able to do that, but you know what? Let's give back to those that do need some help. There's always a solution, always.
and you realize that even though your dad has passed, that he's aware of what you're doing and that
Yeah,
he's playing an integral part in your life, even though he's not anymore.
absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you, Kevin. Um, I don't believe we just go. I think there's something else out there, and you know, he's
You know,
always with me. I am his daughter. He was a perfect role model, and he helped a lot of people in the community. He sponsored baseball teams, hockey teams. He ran all the snack bars at the hockey rinks. Like so that's a positive role model, and why not carry that on in his memory? So
good
just
for
be
him.
positive.
Now, do you sponsor baseball teams and stuff too?
I'm actually sponsoring a child through Blue Skies for Children.
Oh, cool. Very nice.
So they have a wonderful program for companies to join in on that type of sponsorship. So we're taking that initiative and helping a child that's, their family's in need, or they're just having a hard time putting them into sport. Uh, that's what I'm doing.
I really wish, because times have changed so much since I was a kid. There were little league games all over the place, and that
Yeah,
you could get into a little league deal, or baseball, or football, or all of those things. They're not there as much. We used to, when I was a kid, we used to grab the kids from the neighborhood and go to the local ball field, and we would choose size and we'd play baseball. I
yeah,
don't see that anymore. I also don't see kids riding bicycles much anymore. It's really
yeah.
weird.
It is, and you're right. When I was a kid, we played outside till midnight. We play hide and seek, and yes, we were riding our bikes. But I think that we can honestly say what the situation is with today's youth, and that is the screen, right? They've got cell phones, they've got the computer, they've got the television. So, and now because of what's going on, the issue of parents being able to afford sport, I believe it's much more expensive.
Yeah.
I believe that the initiative isn't there as much as it was for parents that are stressed out. I think there's more demand for them to work longer hours to, make ends meet. So what happens is the youth sports is like at the bottom of the list when
It
it
does it
should.
does seem to be, and that is a terrible, terrible, terrible shame.
Yes, yes. And then, of course, we got to look at the educational system. I know when I was in school, we had phys ed every day.
Yeah.
I don't know what the schools are now here in the US, but do they have phys ed every day? And
I
if
I was
so,
I was having fun with my son the other day. He's 34, and I was saying,
mhm,
when I was in high school
yeah,
in 1970, 71, we had we didn't have co-ed. Now, there's nothing against co-ed,
right.
PE, but I was far too competitive, and so I enjoyed playing with the guys and doing, playing football and playing real football and that kind of thing. But it's changed now, and everything is it's different. It's different. But I wanted to ask you, Velocity Athletic Training, where did you get the name from, and what does it mean?
Well, I had to think about when I was, setting up Velocity. I thought, okay, well, coach dubbed me the stallion on the track team. So stallions are usually really fast. And I thought, but I love the cheetah. I love the concept of the cheetah. It's the fastest cat.
Yep.
So I thought velocity. Yeah. Um,
Oh,
and I love fast
that's
cars.
that's a
Anything to do
cheetah
with
behind you.
velocity, I love. So I love fast cars. I love the cheetah because it's fast. I'm like, yeah, velocity. It's got a ring to it.
You got into trouble when you were a kid, or didn't you? Because you were into velocity and fast things.
Well, Ottawa is, people say to me, oh, well, Ottawa's a government town. They've got all the money there. Oh, little do you know that uh, the longest street in Ottawa was actually a racetrack for Saturday nights for a lot of muscle cars. So,
You
right.
went
That's as
cruising when
far as
you
I'll
were a
say.
kid. You went cruising when you were a kid.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, see, we get the truth comes out. So, um, it's really cool. Now, if somebody wants to listen to your podcast, how do they find it? Where do they go?
It's on YouTube. You just search Velocity Athletic Training Radio, and my channel will come up. It's a lot of people tell me it's quite interesting because it touches upon many, many things, under that umbrella of health and wellness. So And I like that. It's fun. I love meeting different people that have different ideas and different solutions. So we share them.
Well, that's really good. So it's velocity training um, on YouTube, right?
It's Velocity Athletic Training Radio. You
I
have
knew
to get
that.
the
So
radio, Kevin.
I know. Well, I call this Positive Talk Radio. Now, I do have a radio show that I do as well. Matter of fact, I'm doing one this
Nice.
afternoon. So
I've been
um,
on radio. I
I'm
was on
sure you
C
have.
Fun every Sunday. I was
Yeah,
on
that's right.
C Fun every Sunday in Vancouver. I think I told you that.
Yes, you
And
did
actually,
when we chatted yesterday.
yeah, the producer says she's got a radio voice.
Yes, you do. You should, and you do have that, so you should use it.
Oh yes, I'd love to. It's
Well,
fun.
you're using it now, and you're helping people do
Yeah,
a great thing.
thank you. And you're
So,
doing a great thing too with having your show, Positive Talk. I love it. It's a great concept.
well, thank you very much. I've been doing this since 2003. So for me, it's not so new, but I enjoy it. I love talking to people like you. I think you're
Thank
very
you.
special. You can help people because a lot of people, we are at a crossroads, in
Oh
my
yeah.
humble opinion. We're at a crossroads where we can open up to new concepts like meditation and focus and
Mhm.
mindset and taking care of each other and being kind and or we cannot, in which case we're going to be in big trouble.
Well, you know what? I was actually speaking with because I'm going to host um, the Healers Gather Summit. So I've done a couple of summits. So I did the Reclaim Summit where we focused on what are you going to reclaim? Because we've all lost something, right, during this period. Let's focus on reclaiming. Then I did the Metamorphosis Summit. What have you changed? Now the Healers Summit is basically revolved around, and I was having a discussion with one of the
Hola,
presenters.
señor.
Oh, hold on. Okay. Pardon me. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I was having a discussion with one of the presenters um, where we thought about this that think of the word healing.
Hmm.
Now, some people will take that and go, "Well, is that a hokey thing? Is it what is it sounds hokey." And actually, one of my dearest friends said, "Well, I don't know. If it's not about Christ and this and that." And I stopped her. I said, "Wait a minute. Stop right there. We heal people out there can choose to heal whichever way works for them,
Hmm.
right? If it's through Christ, if it's through Buddha, if it's through whatever. We're not here to judge at all.
That's
If
true.
it's going to help someone out there where they stop and think, this is overwhelming me, these changes, how do I deal with it? I pray. I sit down and pray. I sit down and pray and I quiet the mind and I just say, God, give me an answer. If it's just that, those words, or if it's just being out in nature, just connecting, it doesn't matter. We're not here to judge. I've been around that circle. I've sat with Buddhist monks, I've sat in a synagogue, mosque. I go to church, but I am not to judge anybody. If you're with
It's not.
Christ,
Yeah. Go ahead.
if you're with Christ, Christ didn't judge. He was judged. So she kind of went, oh, it was like a jolt. I said, don't judge. If someone says to me, Helena, I really need to quiet my mind, how can I do this? I always say, find what's going to resonate with you. That's how you heal, is what's going to resonate, you know? Um, we're open, the human race is the most complex race out there.
You think? We're very complex because and you're right. We form an idea in our head, and then that is right, and it's the only thing that is, and then we tend to start judging other people because they view something a little bit differently than we do, and so but that's not really appropriate because
No, and
go ahead.
it's not the time to think that way. There's already division between, oh, you're not vaccinated, you're vaccinated, and people are like, I read an article actually, it was on Instagram, where one of the he's in the run for prime minister. Anyway, the Toronto Star put an article out there where an individual was hoping that the non-vaccinated die. And I thought, is this where we're heading? Like really? If someone chooses not to get vaccinated and someone is vaccinated, there's a clash happening. So hey, we gotta be neutral, right? We can't be going, you're not vaccinated, come on. There
Well,
were go on.
I'll tell you in this day and age right now with how the variant is continuing to evolve and to
Mhm.
change, I know people that are fully vaccinated and got COVID again.
Right,
They've had it before and they got it again. And so,
right.
who knows what is actually the way it's supposed to be, and all you can do is take care of yourself. And until there's only one guy that I know of that was ever perfect that walked the earth. He's no longer with us, but and so none of us are. So we just need to take care of each other and take care of ourselves. And you're right.
Exactly.
Judging is
Exactly.
not a good thing to do.
It's not going to solve anything.
Nope.
And going out there with big signs and, oh, protesting, it's not going to solve anything. You got to, put aside all this division and work together uh, for each other. This is what brings about the change, right? The turning the leaf a bit, helping each other. You know, it, I guess it's not being selfish as well. You can't be selfish.
Yep.
That's
Well,
you
when
know
you give, you get more back. So
right?
it's a good place to be. It's a good place to be. So
Exactly. I agree.
now, do you do one podcast a week? Is that what you do?
Every Wednesday, except today, 'cause I'm a guest on your show. Um, and I am getting booked up for being a guest on other shows. But for my show, it's every Wednesday at noon. And so I am booked up next Wednesday, well into October with guests on Velocity Athletic Training Radio.
Good for
Um,
you. Good for you.
thank you.
Keep it up
Thank,
and keep on growing your brand. It's important.
thank you. The brand, like I said, coming in from Canada with basically just nothing. It's like starting over. But you know what? I'm having fun. I'm having fun, and I'm happy that I'm here in the United States of America because my fellow Americans need help.
That's a fact. By the way, we've been talking with Helena Smolock, and you can go to Velocity Training, or excuse me, velocityathletictraining.com, and you can find out all the information about her. And you can go to YouTube, Velocity Athletic Training on YouTube. She's got her own channel, or you can go to Positive Talk Radio .net, and she'll be there, and she'll be on Positive Talk on Positive Talk Radio on YouTube and all that stuff. So it's great to have you here, and
Thank
you're
you,
gonna need
Kevin.
you're gonna need to come back and have us, and we do this again sometime.
Absolutely. I'd love that. Sure.
Well, very good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set myself aside and sit here quietly. I'd like you to tell our audience, those that are listening right now and those that will be listening in the future, because this will be up forever, anything that you would like them to know.
Um, be kind, be resilient. Very important to be resilient. Um, have some patience and just know that it always works out. There's always a solution. You have the ability to take care of your health. There are resources, there are trainers, there is everything out there for you to take action, to take care of your health, your wellness, um, and be positive about it. Yourself, this is a time where we gotta reflect inside of ourselves. We've had that opportunity to do that for the past 2 years when everything was shut down. So as we come out with a positive attitude. Thank you, Kevin, for such a great show to talk about positive things. Tune into shows like this where you can learn from others. Uh, there's so much out there. You can do this and have faith. Whichever way you want to look at faith, whichever modality will work for you, use it and be strong. That's my message.
Very cool. Very cool. I have something that I call authentic grit, and authentic grit encapsulates all that you have just mentioned. Having gratitude, being resilient, um, having being tough, having proper intentions and positive intentions.
Yeah.
We can literally, and I've learned so much doing this show that I firmly believe that with people like you can literally change the world by the positivity that you use and what you bring to the world. And the more people that do this, the better off the entire world's going to be.
Yes. I agree.
And I thank you ever so much for being here.
I thank you.
And we'll have to do that. We'll do this again. And
Absolutely.
absolutely. So if
Yes.
you'll wait right there, by the way, again, velocityathletictraining.com. Go there, find her, work with her. And she can help you through some supplementation, which right now our foods, I don't know if you've noticed, but our foods are pretty much deficient in nutrition. They're deficient
Mhm.
in minerals and many things. And so supplementation, darn it, you'll just feel better. And isn't that what we're all
Yes,
about anyway?
absolutely. Hey, if I can do it at 58, you can do it.
Absolutely. That's so true. So true. If you'll wait right there, I shall be right back. Hey, thanks for enjoying this episode all the way to the end. Please give us a like and subscribe to this channel. This has been a production of PositiveTalkRadio.net. Please visit our website, oddly named PositiveTalkRadio.net, for more details about us and our mission, which is to provide great positive programming designed to inspire us all. I'm Kevin McDonald, and I'm proud of these shows, and I truly hope that you'll like them and share them with friends and family. So on behalf of